What's up, family? So is Haley Van really upset about joining the Chicago Sky, or are we reading into her face too much, family? Let's get into the heart of this. Haley Van got drafted to the Chicago Sky, and instantly people had something to say, not about her game, not about her fit with the roster, but about her facial expression on draft night. A tweet with 4 million views it called it quote unquote smiling through the pain and suggested she's dreading playing next to Angel Reese again. But is she really, or are fans reaching? Let's break it down from a childlike perspective of common sense and a real life perspective, man. So, as you guys see, Haley and Angel Reese right here side by side in this picture. And I want you guys to see the clip of her on draft night in regards to the whole sentiment and situation. Check it out.
Okay, good energy with Courtney Vandersloot. You can learn from her. You're paired back with Angel Reese.
Uh, you want to break free? Come
Okay,
on.
good energy with Courtney Vandersloot.
All right, so that's the facial expression, right? Just to add the context of what I said at the beginning. Some fans think Haley looked tense or unhappy with that facial expression we seen at the draft when Chicago was announced. The narrative quickly turned into, "Oh, she doesn't want to be there. She's having flashbacks at LSU. She's about to walk into a toxic situation with Angel Reese again." But let's pause for a minute because this kind of assumption happens all the time in real life too, right? And look, from a real life reality check perspective, ever had to smile in public while feeling overwhelmed? You get where I'm going with this, family? Imagine being handed a microphone surrounded by cameras, strangers, teammates, executives, the biggest moment of your career, and your face freezes for a second. Now imagine millions of people zooming in on that one frame and building a whole story around it. That's what's happening here. Her expression may have looked unsure, but it could have been anything: nerves, shock, um, introvision, or introversion. Sorry, what I'm saying, because she may be an introvert, exhaustion, not necessarily disappointment or toxicity flashbacks, so to say, right? And what about Angel Reese? The internet loves conflict, so of course people jump to bad blood between Van Lith, and Reese. But Haley shut that down fast, and hear what she had to say. She has a very mature relationship with Angel Reese, and I want you guys to check out the clip, which may add a little bit more context on how she really felt and clarify her feelings that night when she were announced that she was joining the Chicago Sky with Angel Reese. Check it out.
Has maintained contact with me this whole past year since she's been in the league and I transferred. I really appreciate her. We have a very mature relationship, a mutual respect relationship where we both have respect for each other's game and also the character and the person we are off the court. So mostly I'm just excited to get to be around her again. I think we have a lot of similarities about how we carry ourselves and our mindset on, what's important to us. And, she's a dog, man. She turns up the intensity of everybody around her. So I'm excited to be in that environment with her again where she can pull more out of me than I think I have. Yeah.
She says she's a dog. I mean, that may be in LSU times, but I don't really see her have that same hunger now that she's in the WNBA. Maybe I may be wrong. Correct me in the comments below. I'm always open to being wrong and the possibility of being wrong. But it sounds like to me she's just enjoying the limelight, slacking off, not being consistent with her game, doing podcasts and other festivities. And it sounds like to me Haley is more saying in my um perception of Angel Reese and actually checking the WNBA. And I honestly can say that I end up checking the WNBA and checking for it and watching it more and gaining interest due to Caitlin Clark bringing the competitiveness and the other, not the nonsense race baiting or unnecessary commentary. Just watching it for the love of the sport, basketball skills, and competitiveness, and made the most dominant wins, right? But um Angel Reese sounds more like a hype woman to me, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like an artist that has a hype man just to hype up the intensity to get the crowd moving along with them because they may not know how to hype the crowd up on their own. That's what it sounds like to me. And I also know that basketball is a form of entertainment, but you still have to have the skill to tie into it, which is why you're on the WNBA platform in the first place. But what about Angel Reese, right? And she mentioned, they had a very mature relationship, mutual respect, and she's excited to be around her again. And she turns up the intensity, like she just said, and she wants to be in that environment. That doesn't sound like someone dreading a reunion. That sounds like a competitor who wants to be sharpened by another competitor. But like I said, I don't know how iron sharpen iron is going to happen if Angel Reese is not doing so well, in my opinion. You seen her play that 3v3, in that league that was formulated in the offseason to get the players more money and to continue to have income coming in. But I don't know, man. But yes, Haley struggled at LSU. But let's be real. Haley didn't have her best year at LSU. But blaming her entirely on Angel Reese, nah, I can't do that. New school, new system, different coach, less control of the offense, less spacing. Any hooper knows when you're a primary ball handler and you're thrown into a system that doesn't cater to your strengths, your numbers will dip. It doesn't mean there's beef. It just means the fit wasn't ideal, right? But what about Chicago? Is it really that bad playing for the Chicago Sky? Some pundits have said Chicago's organizations is a mess, under resourced, lacks stability, etc. Even ESPN's Monica McNutt hinted it's not the most attractive destination. So, yes, maybe Haley had reservations. But if that's true, she still has a massive opportunity. Learn from Courtney Vandersloot, one of the best point guards in the game. Play next to Angel Reese, a rebounding and intensity machine, be on a roster that dramatically upgraded their shooting. Let's just talk who, right? The Chicago Sky's roster does has potential. This isn't the same Chicago Sky team last year. They added Maddie Westbelt, high IQ forward, solid shooter, 37% from three at her peak, good passer in high low situations. You got Camila Corderso, dominant post presence, interior threat, strong rebounding. You got Courtney Weber, right? Versatile wing, improved shooter, solid defender. You got Kia Nurse. You got Ariel Atkins, veterans who bring floor spacing and leadership to the game. And of course, Angel Reese, right? And with all this talent, Haley doesn't need to carry the scoring load right away. She can ease in, play the two if needed, and find her spots. And that's a huge luxury for a rookie. But if from a real life scenario, new job, old colleague, right? Let's make it relatable. You get hired at a new company, one of your old coworkers is there, someone you didn't always vibe with in the last role, but now the leadership is different. The department is structured better. You both grown. Do you bail on the opportunity? Or do you take it as a chance to reset and succeed together? That's what Haley and Angel are walking into in my eyes. Bottom line, can we let Haley breathe? It's wild how a 3 second facial expression can spin into a 3 month narrative. Haley Van Lith got drafted into a solid situation with room to grow, veterans to learn from, and a fresh opportunity to shine. And she said there's no beef with Angel Reese. She says she's excited to reunite. She's ready to compete. Now it's on to the fans to either keep stirring the pot or support her fresh start. But what do you guys think? How, Here's how I want to open a convo with you guys. Do you think the fans overanalyze everything, every little thing athletes do? Is Haley and Angel Reese pairing a good one, or are they too similar in energy? And what does a toxic label mean in women's sports? And is it thrown around too lightly? And finally, how far do you think this new look Sky team can go? Drop your thoughts down in the comments below. This one's going to be fun to watch all season. And let the love supersede the hate, family. If you got some value from this video, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. And on that note, family, peace.